Hello and welcome to this edition of US 101's Visual Radio. Bringing you the news, I am Harsha Patirana. And before we take a look at your news in detail, let's take a look at your headlines first.
News First headline.
Cabinet grants approval for private sector to import rice. Small and medium-scale rice mill owners to release Nadu stocks to the market promptly. First session of Sri Lanka's 10th Parliament today. Sirasa Shakti Sahana Yatra commences journey to aid victims of adverse weather in Sri Lanka. In international headlines, White House defends pardon of Hunter Biden amid backlash. And in your sports, Arsenal hosts holders Man United in FA Cup third round. On your top story this hour, the government has decided to grant permission for the private sector to import rice. Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that this matter was discussed at yesterday's cabinet meeting. During the meeting, all cabinet ministers had agreed to allow the private sector to import rice. Accordingly, the private sector will take steps to import the necessary stock of rice to the country promptly. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa also said that any type of rice can be imported. In more local news, a discussion between President Andrakumala Dissanayake and small and medium-scale rice mill owners took place yesterday at the Presidential Secretariat. Now, during the discussion, the President emphasized the importance of ensuring a continuous and affordable supply of rice to consumers in the coming months. He engaged with the mill owners to identify immediate measures needed to achieve this goal. The meeting also focused on enhancing storage facilities across the country to prevent shortages and ensure a steady rice supply. Additionally, concerns were raised about the declining availability of Nadu rice for consumption due to its increased use in value-added products. President Dissanayake highlighted the potential benefits of introducing a QR code system to streamline the distribution of fertilizer subsidies and boost domestic agricultural production. Minister of Trade, Commerce, Food Security and Cooperative Development Vasantha Samarasinghe, Lak Sathosa Chairman Dr. Samita Pereira, officials and small and medium-scale rice mill owners attended this discussion. In more local news, the first session of the 10th Parliament of Sri Lanka commenced today at 9:30 am, presided over by the Speaker Dr. Ashoka Ranwala. Accordingly, Mohammad Saleh Nalim took oath as a Member of Parliament today in front of Speaker Dr. Ashoka Ranwala. He enters Parliament through the National List of Sri Lanka Muslim Congress. The Sirasa Shakti Sahana Yatra commenced its journey this morning from the Sirasa TV head office in Colombo following multi-religious observances. In a bid to ease the hardships faced by our brothers and sisters who were severely impacted by the recent adverse weather conditions. We now cross over to Newsfirst Jawad Abdeen for the latest update.
The Sirasa Shakti Sahana Yatra has commenced once again to help those affected by the floods following the adverse weather conditions that we experienced in Sri Lanka a few days back. Now, 4 teams departed our Colombo headquarters today, off to Ampara, Mullaitivu, Mana and also Batticaloa. Now, me and my team are off to Batticaloa to distribute these goods that we have collected to those affected by the floods. And I also have to especially mention that this wouldn't have been a success had it not been for you, the people of Sri Lanka, who have come together to help those affected by the adverse weather conditions. Until I bring you updates on our way to Batticaloa and also from Batticaloa, this is Jawad Abdeen for the News First team.
That was Juada Abdin bringing to the latest update from the Sirasa Shakti Sahana Yatra journey on his way to Batticaloa.
International news.
And now taking a look at your international news for this hour. The White House has defended President Joe Biden's pardon of his son Hunter Biden after repeatedly insisting that he had no plans to grant such executive clemency. The press secretary said Biden had pardoned his son, who was facing sentencing later this month in 2 federal cases, to shield him from potential persecution by the outgoing president's political foes. The sweeping pardon covers any potential federal crimes that 54-year-old Hunter may have committed over the course of a decade. Republicans have lambasted the move, with President-elect Donald Trump calling it an abuse and miscarriage of justice. The Democratic president issued the pardon on Sunday evening before heading off on an official trip to Africa.
Sports news.
And finally, on to your sports update. Holders Manchester United have been drawn away to record 14-time winners Arsenal in the 5th FA Cup third round. Now, Premier League leaders Liverpool will host League 2 Accrington Stanley, while Manchester City welcomes class of 92 owned Salford City. Tamworth, one of only 2 non-league clubs remaining in the competition, are at home to Tottenham. The third round ties will be played over the weekend of Saturday the 11th of January. The third round is when the 44 Premier League and Championship clubs enter the competition, joining the 20 lower league and non-league clubs who made it through last weekend's second round ties. And with that, we wrap up this edition of US 101's Visual Radio. I'm Hashni Patrana. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more of the very latest.